Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger, what kind of challenges does he pose to you guys preparing for this week?
Yeah, he makes plays all over the field, and he's a guy that you have to game plan for and you have to prepare for because he just finds a way to make plays and flies around the field and can man coverage, can zone, he can do it all.
Justin, we kind of already asked you, but now having some time to watch the tape from Sunday, what do you guys need to do to kind of execute better when we get to the red zone?
We just need to find completions. We need to run the ball more. We need to do all these things to better our game, and whether that's finding checkdowns or whether that's hand the ball off, being smart, or throwing it away. That's what we have to do in the red zone.
Just the interception in the end zone, you afterwards said you got to be better. How realistic, though, is it in that situation? I mean, it's such a timing thing, and when Keenan falls, I mean, is it realistic to think that you could have done something else differently there?
Yeah, I think it's on everyone, and you know, I got to put a better ball, or I got to see that, and I got to go on to my next read. And you know, we talked about it in the game, and JG needs to run through that safety, and so when he's kind of stacked, it's a tough read, and you know, I got to move on. If I see that and it's cloudy at all, I got to move on past it and find the next read.
So it's just a matter of when you say cloudy, just there's too many people, there's too much traffic. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to everyone, and kind of like I said, you know, JG's running this route to kind of spread and open up the defense, and that safety is supposed to follow with him. And if we don't get the levels that we want to, it gets a cloudy read, and Keenan falls down, and I force a throw. So it's on everyone.
Where do you think this team is right now compared to where you think you ought to be, or where you think you can get to?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Where the team is right now compared to your expectations, where you should be, or is it not, at this point, not reached the level you would hope to at this point, or where do you think it's going?
No, I think we're playing some good football. You know, there are things that we need to clean up, and that's regardless of whatever week you're in. You know, there are always things to clean up, always things to improve, and whether that's, you know, our protection plan, our routes, our anything, you know, our run game, we can do better with it all, and we got to put up more points, and especially in the red zone, we have to put up more points, and so that's something that we have to execute. And you know, I think we've moved the ball really well. If you take away the penalty yards of last game, I think we're in the top 3 offenses in the NFL, and I think we're doing a good job moving the ball, getting the ball downfield. So I think we just need to execute better.
Justin, over these first 2 weeks, you've had a couple quick throws to Mike Williams. Like there's a slant against Washington, and then the quick out on the touchdown. Do you have runs called on those plays, and then you're just like seeing the defense and reading the coverage and then going to Mike in those situations?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. We've got a run called, and those are tags or advantage looks. And if they're playing a certain defense, we're prepared for that. And Mike, as physical as he is and as fast as he is, he's one of those threats on the outside that you need to find in the ball.
And just having that in offense, how much does that open things up for you? How much versatility does it give you sort of at the line of scrimmage?
It's a lot of options. And instead of guarding just Austin Eckler, now you have to guard Keenan and Mike and Jared Cook out on the space. So it really opens up our offenses and gives us a lot of options.
Justin, any concerns about, I think you're the only QB in the league right now to drop back 40 or more times in both games, and usually when you get to 40 or more attempts in this league, your winning percentage goes down immensely.
Am I worried about?
Just the number of times you've been dropping back, or they've just been different types of throws that it doesn't seem like you're dropping back a lot?
As a quarterback, I always want to throw the ball, and that's me being selfish. And I think we've got the guys outside. We've got Mike Williams, Keenan, and Jared Cook, and JG, and all these guys that make plays. And so anytime we can get them the ball, I think that's huge for us.
Justin, just with the red zone efficiency, do you look at sort of the specifics of how some of this stuff went down in the first 2 weeks and see it as a little bit fluky? We had your call for the sack, you had the illegal shift on what would have been a touchdown. Any of it, sort of you chalk it up to that when thinking about the red zone efficiency?
Yeah, I think that's a tough thing to look at because we are moving the ball well. We're getting into the red zone, and we've kind of just shot ourselves in the foot. And you know, whether that's the penalties or whether that's the fumble, the interceptions, that comes down to us, and we just need to execute better. And I know that we've got the right play called, we've got the right guys out there. We just need to keep repping it, get experience, and get through it.
For you, how exciting is this game coming up? I mean, last year you played against Patrick and the Chiefs in your first game, but now it's like, okay, you've had a year under your belt. Now they're going to play their full starters. Is there any excitement going into KC?
Well, I think it's a great opportunity. This is what you dream of playing against the, you know, they've won Super Bowl champions, and you know, it's a great opportunity for us to go out there to a hostile environment and play our football. And you know, they're an incredible team. They've got a good defense, a good offense, and so they're going to need everything we've got.
Describe Patrick Mahomes as a quarterback.
I think he's incredibly smart. I think he's able to make every throw on the field, and you can never outrun his arm.
They're a team coming off a loss the other day. In your brief NFL tenure, have you noticed any discrepancy facing a team coming off a win versus teams coming off losses?
I haven't. I haven't looked too much into that.
Listen, you guys last year played there. They didn't play a lot of their guys. How different do you think the atmosphere is going to be Sunday?
I would assume there were a lot more fans. I think at the time maybe they had 15,000 or so with the COVID restrictions. But I'm assuming it to be a lot louder, and so we were working on silent count and everything like that.
When you talk about Larry Roundtree, what you've seen out of him and how he helps out your offense?
He's a very physical back. He's done a great job picking up the offense, and he's a guy that you can hand the ball off to and know he's going to fight for a couple extra yards. And I think he's done a great job.
Justin, with the early down efficiency, first down specifically, that was obviously a point of emphasis coming into the season, which is being better on early downs. How do you feel like you guys can improve in that area moving forward?
Yeah, I think we can always do a better job of, marrying our looks up, pass and run. And I think Coach Joe Lombardi's done a great job of that so far. And I feel like we've been pretty balanced so far, and we can always get better. But to find completions, when the pressure breaks down or when everything else breaks down, to find completions, find checkdowns, and move the ball forward.
Justin, with the execution and the red zone, do you think part of it is just you need more time with Lombardi and your new playmakers like Jared Cook and a new offensive line?
I think experience is huge, but I believe in the guys we have. I believe in the play calls we have. We just haven't executed like we need to, and it's an emphasis that we need to put this week during practice, and I know that we'll be better.
With the Chiefs scoring like about 30 points per game, was there kind of like pressure or urgency to kind of speed up that process?
No, I don't think there's any pressure. I think that's one way to look at it, and I think it's an opportunity for us to show and let everyone know that we can be better. And, our first two games, I don't feel like are an accurate representation of our offense. And I think we can be better. And I know the guys believe that too. So do the coaches. So it's up to us to make that happen.
What does Steve Spagnuolo do as a defensive coordinator that makes it difficult on quarterbacks?
He does a great job disguising everything. He's a really great coach, and he's got his players really dialed in, and they make everything look the same. And so you're kind of wondering what coverage is this, where are they bringing the pressure from, and they do a good job of hiding everything. So it's a lot on the quarterback to kind of find that out.
He does bring a lot of variety, especially with his pressures. I mean, how difficult is that to prepare for as a quarterback, knowing that he could pull something out of the bag that he really hasn't shown in recent history?
Yeah, that's the tough part about playing offense, and you have to be prepared for all of that. And you have to go back, and our coaches have done a great job of having the protection plan so far. And so Corey and those guys up front they've handled that really well, and looking forward to that challenge this week because like you said, they're an incredible defense.
Hey, Justin, are we seeing the best of Michael Williams, or is there still more yet to come?
I think Mike Williams is an incredible receiver, and I think these past couple of weeks have kind of been able to show that. And I know that he can get even better. And as scary as that might sound, I believe that he's one of the best in the league.
Do you feel like this offense has kind of brought out something unique in him? It feels like last year he wasn't having that big of an impact, and it feels like with this new offensive system, it's able to feature him and what he does a lot more.
I think a lot of the offense is finding our one-on-one matchups. And if teams start doubling Keenan Allen, you got to find your other guys. And Mike Williams has stepped up big, Jared Cook as well, Jalen Guyton. So all those guys, you need to find those matchups.
Did you expect him to reach the end zone on that throw the other day?
No, I didn't. I saw an off corner, maybe get 4 or 5 yards, because that's a pretty good run. If you get 4 yards on a little screen pass like that, it's good. But as physical as he is and as fast, he's able to break that tackle and score.